And good afternoon. First Alert Meteorologist Don Maher here, checking in with a weather update on this Wednesday afternoon. Things certainly quieter than they were last evening when heavy rainfall moved through the region. In fact, we saw 2 to 4 inches of rain throughout much of western Mass. But the good news is now we've got a couple of dry days coming our way. Bad news is, though, we may have another system coming our way as we head towards the end of the week. So let's take a look at what we're seeing on our Monarch Place Skycam this afternoon, and we are starting to see a little bit of sunshine out there after a rather gray couple of hours towards the mid-morning and heading towards lunchtime. But you can see the Skycam is kind of trembling in the breeze out there, as it is still rather blustery out there this afternoon. In fact, I do expect these blustery conditions to continue as we head through the afternoon and into the early evening. But temperature is not that bad considering we are heading towards mid-January. 47 right now here in Springfield, but you can see that west-southwesterly wind right now sustained at 22 miles per hour, and we have seen these winds gusting up near 30 miles per hour at times as we made our way into the afternoon. Temperatures, though, running well above where we should be. Average highs probably around 35. So we're running a good 10 to 12 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. And, of course, temperatures well above freezing. That's going to contribute to some additional snow melt, even though the snowpack really is not what it looked like 24 hours ago, as that heavy rainfall and the mild temperatures certainly have taken its toll on the snowpack throughout much of western Mass. But the story this afternoon is the rather blustery conditions. You can see a sustained wind at Springfield at 22. Westfield is a southwesterly wind at 14. In Berkshire County, we have sustained winds near 15 miles per hour, and a recent wind gust to 30 in Westfield, to 28 in Springfield, and to 23 in Orange. Now, any wind advisories were allowed to expire for Hamden, Hampshire, and Franklin County earlier this morning. We still, though, do have a wind advisory that is in effect for Berkshire County, and that is in place until 10 p.m. of this evening. They could still see winds gusting up near 40 miles per hour at times as we make our way through the afternoon. So a few spot showers here and there, certainly not going to be a big deal this afternoon. In fact, I think many of us for the remainder of the afternoon are going to be dry. We're dry for tomorrow, and we're dry during the daylight hours on Friday. It's as we get towards late Friday evening into Saturday. That is our next storm system that's going to approach. And this one looks a little bit similar to the storm system we dealt with last night. It's an inside runner, which means the area of low pressure remains to our west. We're on the mild side of this system. We may start out as a wintry mix, but we quickly go over to rain Friday night. And once again, I think we're also going to have to watch for the possible for some strong winds with this system as well. But on the satellite and radar this afternoon, a couple of light showers moving through portions of Franklin County, actually drying up as they continue to make their way on off to the east. Otherwise, we have sunshine and clouds out there at this hour. You see some additional snow and rain showers off to our west, which is why I still can't rule out the possibility that we contend with a rain shower, maybe a flurry in some portions of western Mass this afternoon. But the storm system that brought the heavy rain, the area of low pressure, has lifted on off to the north. And I think once we get these remaining couple of light showers out this afternoon that one or two locations may see, we're dry tonight, we're dry tomorrow, and we're dry heading towards the bulk of the daylight on Friday. And temperatures are going to continue to run above where we should be for this time of year. So we'll continue to see some additional snow melt taking place Thursday and into Friday. It's as we head towards Friday night into Saturday. That is the next area of low pressure. But once again, I think all of us here in western Mass, maybe a brief wintry mix, but quickly over to rain. And right now the timing with this system looks to be a bit later than the storm system we saw last night. Last night we were dealing with precipitation for the evening commute. Friday's storm looks to come in a bit later as we head towards later Friday night, and then continuing through the first half of the day on Saturday. It does look like it will be a rather progressive moving system. So no real weather concerns today or tomorrow. Tomorrow, blend of sunshine and clouds, a dry day, upper 30s and lower 40s. As we head towards Friday, we're going to see another rapid development of a storm system near the Tennessee and Ohio river valleys, and that is the system that's going to quickly intensify and begin to make its way on off to the northeast. But similar to last night's system, the actual low remains to our west. So we are on the mild side of this system. As the precipitation begins, it could start out as a brief wintry mix, and then it quickly goes over to rain, and that rain probably continues into the first half of the day on Saturday. But we're probably drying things out by Saturday afternoon. Right now, this looks like it will be a rather progressive moving system, but still, we're talking about the potential for 1 to maybe 2 inches of rain. So that is our next weather maker. It's rain, obviously, that we just don't need, but certainly the possibility there for another 1 to 2 inches. And we're also going to have to watch for the possibility that, once again, we could be dealing with the threat for some strong winds. Now, the good news is last evening, those strong winds aloft did not make it down to the surface for many of us, so we didn't really see that threat for damaging winds materialize. We'll be watching to see if that is going to be the case with this next system as well. But despite the fact that we may be dealing with the threat for some strong winds, once again, we're talking about the potential for an inch and a half, maybe as much as 2 inches of rain from this next system that we'll be dealing with late Friday night into Saturday. The flood watches for Hamden, Hampshire, Franklin County have now been extended. These were due to expire at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but the National Weather Service out in Norton has now extended these. These will remain in effect until 7 p.m. Saturday. The concern is, of course, is the snow melt and the runoff from the rain we saw last night could continue to cause river levels to rise, although looking at the forecasts or for some of the major rivers here in western Mass, not expected to see any of these rivers approach flood stage over the next couple of days. But you put another 1 to 2 inches of rainfall on top of what we already have been dealing with, some additional snow melt. Certainly the concern is there that with this next system we could see more in the way of flooding, which is why the National Weather Service has now extended the flood watch until 7 o'clock on Saturday evening, and that is for Hamden, Hampshire, and Franklin counties here in western Mass. So as far as the weekend is looking, first half of the day on Saturday is looking wet. With the rain moving through, it will be blustery. Temperatures, though, still well above normal as we hit the low to middle 40s on Saturday. That system departs. Colder air starts to drain in on the backside of that system, so we're much cooler as we head on into the day on Sunday, with daytime highs only in the upper 20s and lower 30s. But when you factor in the winds, it's going to feel like it's in the teens. So as that system pulls away on Saturday, it is going to pull in some noticeably colder air as we head on into the beginning of next week. But once that system departs, I think we're able to salvage a good portion of the weekend later Saturday and into Sunday, though Sunday is blustery and colder. We're dry on Monday, but then perhaps going to be watching our next storm system as we head on into the day on Tuesday. And with that colder air in place, this one could be more in the way of wintry weather as opposed to rain. It's still a good 5 to 6 days away, so it is something we'll be watching as we head through the next several days. And of course, we still have to contend with that storm system Friday night into Saturday morning. So that is the very latest. Of course, Jana Brown has a full update on the forecast coming up tonight on Western Mass News at 4, 5, and 6.